Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, my back is better. I could get out of bed this morning without worrying about feeling like I was about to be tasered. And I can concentrate. I got some work done this morning. And even in a good enough position where I can actually record some videos. Thank you for everyone for your well wishes and the light that you sent me. After I posted up on the post page that I would be out for a few days here. Fortunately for me, that this one didn't start off as bad as previous ones, so I knew I would recover more quickly. Normally, when something like this has happened the last two times, I've been in bed for 5 days before I'm really able to get in and out without too much difficulty. And this one, it lasted about 3.5 days before I was able to do that. So, again, thank you for all your well wishes, any light or Reiki that you sent. I really, really do appreciate it. A lot of news breaking. It looks like we now have a functional government, and Trump has, both the Senate and the House have passed the continuing resolution, and Trump, according to the Hill, when I look at it, it appears that have signed it. So our government's back in session. And because Mike Johnson had to swear Ms. Grivalda back in as a House member, the discharge petition got signed. And as predicted, you heard it here first, or 50th, whatever, the Trump administration was going to go hard on Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Thomas Massie, not so much because he's the instigator of the problem. But they were going to go hard on them to get them to take their signature off the discharge petition. I believe it's too late for that now. It's already on the agenda. And according to what I've read, Johnson is going to have that vote come up next week. There was some speculation that he was going to delay it a while. But let's see. Rather than waiting for members to force a vote on the discharge petition as early as December, Johnson's opting to bring the Epstein Files transparency vote next week. I record this on November 13th, Thursday. So we're going to get to see this. From what I was hearing or reading, Trump and Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Todd Blanche had Lauren Boebert in the Situation Room, not the White House, but the Situation Room, where you do like the most important stuff, in there trying to pressure her to change her signature, and all they did was cement her resolve. Maybe they just didn't offer her enough or something like that for her to change her mind, but long and short, their efforts were not successful, it appears, and she did not take her name off the discharge petition. I think it's too late now for them to do anything about it. So let's go take a look at the discharge petition and how that vote, what it looks like now, how that vote's going to look like next week, and all the hell that's about to break loose. Now remember, Mike Johnson and the Republicans, Mike Johnson specifically though, has kept Congress pretty much out of session since like the end of June, to try and avoid this vote. They had the petition to do it in like July, and he sent the House home a couple weeks early. And then the discharge petition came through, and they would have had the vote they needed once they swore in this special election from Arizona. And he has literally, for almost 2 months, not signed this woman in, swore her in, so that she could vote on this. The whole shutdown was to allow Trump to run roughshod over the country and over the government, and to prevent this petition from being signed. Here we are. They have made their bed, and the hell that's going to break loose is what they've created. They've made things worse for themselves. And here we go. Come on down. Let's take a look at the energy. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get the energy around the discharge petition and the eventual release of the Epstein Files. Okay, so we start with the Three of Coins. This is the current state of it. It's now the discussion, getting ready for the vote, people talking behind the scenes on how they're going to vote. By the way, something that I have not discussed on this channel, but was just recently got some information, so I will share it with you. The discharge petition needs to be approved in the House and the Senate, and it most certainly will. It then goes to the White House, and Trump has the option to approve it or veto it. If he vetoes it, it's got to go back, and you have to have enough votes, I think it's 2/3, to overturn the veto. So keep an eye out on the percentages of people that vote to release it. If it's over 2/3, over 66%, 67% of the House, it means that if Trump vetoes it, it's going to get through the House. They can overrule the veto. We'll have to keep an eye on the Senate. People talking in the background. Cross with the Page of Cups. Here's the thing. They ran on this issue. Trump ran on this issue. MAGA expects them to reveal the secrets of what was going on with Epstein. This is the deal. This is what made MAGA the cult. This was the thing that bonded the cult of MAGA, the cult of personality, were those cannibalistic pedophiles in the Democratic Party, the cabal of the Illuminati that were in world sex trafficking and such. And MAGA gobbled it all up, and they expected results, even to the point where some dude went to Washington, D.C. with a firearm to go to a pizza place that allegedly Hillary Clinton trafficked young girls in a basement. The pizza place had no basement. And this guy got arrested and realized he had been duped. But here we are. This is what you promised him. This is what you're going to get. And they're expecting it. In the past, you got the Justice card. There's Jeffrey Epstein has died under mysterious circumstances. The official story is suicide. Most people don't believe that. I think they're torn between murdered or liberated and hiding on an island somewhere, which I honestly can say that that's reasonably plausible. Being he had his own island and a parade of girls going by, it wouldn't take much to keep this guy quiet. You know what I mean? But also, the Justice Department, the FBI, they have the files. They said they had the files. You ran on this. You promised this. People are expecting it. Current situation is the Five of Swords. This is a make or break moment for the Republicans in the House and in the Senate. MAGA wants this. The vast majority of the population want this. The Democrats, the motto has been stop protecting PDF files. And we don't mean PDF as the Adobe. It's just an acronym for pedophiles. Why would you protect somebody who has done the most heinous of crimes? Overarching energy is the Hanged Man. To vote no on this is political suicide. To vote yes on this means that you've been keeping the promise that you gave folks. But there are really powerful, wealthy people that are going to be implicated in these files. They will, if they're politicians, they will be on the Republican side, they'll be on the Democratic side. They will be leaders of businesses, celebrities, personalities, but they will have one thing in common. These will be powerful, wealthy, politically connected men who are mostly white. I'm adding the last part. I can't prove that, but that's who's people run in those circles. And that's who I'm expecting to see run in those circles. P. Diddy would be like one of those exceptions, but you get the idea. The lesson to be learned is the Four of Cups. Nobody's going to like what they see on this list because it's going to be filled with pedophiles. If you're on this list, you're pretty much ruined. Very few people, I think, will be on this list will get out unscathed. And the only way they're going to get out unscathed is if the survivors flat out say that person didn't do anything. That's the only way you get out of this unscathed if you're named in it. So if you're Bill Clinton, for instance, and your name shows up in the Epstein report, and it certainly will, your only defense is that there's no girl that comes up, or who's now a woman, to say that he did this. If anything, the only thing that's going to save your butt is if they say, yeah, he told lots of jokes like, that uncle, but he never did anything. And I never heard my friends say he did anything. And they all agree that he didn't do anything. That's the only thing that's going to save your bacon in this one. If one girl, or if one woman says as a girl he tried something, you got to assume they're telling the truth. This is not the Salem witch trials here. These are girls who were trafficked and believe the victims, believe the survivors of this. We've lost Miss Giuffre. Let's not lose any more. Yeah. Outcome is the Eight of Swords. Not liking this happening, and now you're stuck. You're stuck by your own actions. The people that have passed on, the people who suffer the least are the ones who've passed on, and the ones who've resigned and kept a low profile. Those are going to be the people who are hurt the least, and in that order. If you're already dead, there's not much you can do to it's your legacy that'll be tarnished, but you won't be socially canceled. If you've already retired from government, say, and your name's on there, your name's mud, and your social circles will probably shrink dramatically, but you're not going to be publicly crucified if like that. But somebody who's kind of high profile in your face, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a real problem. Will how will the vote go in the House? How will the vote go in the House? I'm going to keep this card on the top and this card on the bottom. The card on the bottom really wanted to flip up, but I'm going to leave it as the underlying energy. This card on the top was kind of wonky going in. So, we have Judgment and Magician. How is this vote going to go to the House? Two major arcana. I think it's going to go exactly as you think it's going to go. Five of Coins, Wheel of Fortune, Six of Cups. It's judgment time. It's basically time to lay it all out. The progression of this action. It's been delayed and delayed and delayed, and here it comes. I'm going to look at the victims, the girls, the girls that were trafficked, the children that were trafficked. And it's not going to be all girls, mind you. Please forgive me if I only say girls. It's children. I think it's predominantly girls, but that doesn't mean that there weren't boys who were trafficked as well. You just don't hear about them as much. And it's the impoverished, the most vulnerable people are the ones that they were out there, they were isolated, they were enticed, and they were found and brought in. How's this vote going to go? It's going to go exactly like you think it's going to go. It's going to be an overwhelming support for this because of the energy underneath it. It's time to expose those that took the most vulnerable, brought them in. I'm looking at you, Ms. Maxwell. Process them and then put them out there to be served to a bunch of creepy old men. And I'm sure not all of them are old, but they will be old now. This is just so disgusting. Now, let's just work under the assumption for a second that that more than 2/3 of the House and more than 2/3 of the Senate, let's say 70% of the House and 70% of the Senate, vote to release these files. Something that would be veto proof. Will Trump veto these even if the the number of senators and House members could override his veto. Would he veto it anyways? Because look how bad that's going to be. You veto it, saying it's a witch hunt, and you get overridden. That will tell you everything you need to know about congressional support for Trump at this point. I think they have carried his water, and I suspect they're going to abandon him. But let's go see. It's exposed, the sun. Now, this is normally a yes card, but the truth is out there. You know what's saying? It doesn't matter if he vetoes it. 3 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Wands, 4 of Swords. Okay, so will he veto it? I think he would. Because this is a yes card. I think it doesn't matter. He will, to try and keep the process going, to kick the can down the road, and then pressure people in the Senate and in the House to support him. He wants the time to pressure people to see if he can change their votes, but also he'll take that time to kind of lie low and plan. This is the part of the journey we've gotten to where if this thing passes and the truth comes out, this is the layered part of the reading. If this thing passes and the truth comes out, the machinations start where Trump starts looking overseas. He's probably making his contacts now for his overseas adventure where he can hide the rest of his life. This is that moment. This is that inflection point where at some point Trump's going to realize this is coming out and he's going to have to make plans to scoot. Pam Bondi won't be able to protect him. Queen of Wands is... King of Wands was my card for the Attorney General. The Queen of Wands works for Pam Bondi because she's a female Attorney General. So he may try and get Pam Bondi to prevent its release or fight its release. I don't think she's got anything for it. Will Donald Trump flee to a country with no extradition policy once Pam Bondi and the government hands over the Epstein Files to Congress? 10 of Swords, it's over. The game is over. He's kaput. The minute these files come out, this dude is done. Secrets are out. The news travels fast. Rare bipartisan support on things. 8 of Coins. And the problem is that the money traps him. You can try and say, I was just friends with the guy, but the money connects him. And that's the part that kills him right there. That's the part he cannot explain, is the financial connections. Now, again, if it's an overlayered reading, asking, does he, would he flee to a non-extradition country? It's like, yeah, when it's over, 8 of Wands, it's time to fly. He has agreements in place. Money's been sent. Money's taken care of. And he knows which place he's going to. It's like, yeah, there's already an agreement in place. So he's got a place to run to. Assuming he's got the mental wherewithal to actually do it. Ooh, there's interesting. That the High Priestess is also Jewish. It's the most Jewish card in the deck, according to Dr. Lena Rodriguez. So that could also be Israeli intelligence or the intelligence agencies watching him. Do not doubt for a second. Okay, let's ask. If the intelligence agencies, knowing that Trump is going to flee, will they let him? Is it better? In other words, are there folks in government who feel it's better to let Trump flee? I got a thing here, rising U.S. Venezuelan tensions. Will it be better to let Trump flee than to keep or prevent him from fleeing? Will Will they let him flee? Will the intelligence agencies let him flee? There's your secrets. Queen of Pentacles, looking what's best for the country. Wow. They know where he's going. They know the money. They know where he's going. They know he's made the agreements with. Will they let him flee? That part's unknown. They'll look, what's best for the U.S. if you want to believe in stuff like that, the calm after the storm. It's very possible they will. But the agencies will be working together on this. They know where he's going to go. That's the vibe I'm getting, is they know where he's going to go. And I think what it'll be is they will monitor him. And they'll see they'll read the tea leaves, so to speak. They might know, and they might just kick the can down to the State Department to let them deal with it. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that would not surprise me, and that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Let's not go all conspiracy theory and start hating on the CIA and the FBI and stuff like that. We don't know, and the NSA, we don't know what else they're dealing with. We don't know the geopolitical consequences of all this. We are much more aligned in the, if you've committed the crime, you should be doing the time and held accountable for your actions. That's where you and I sit on this one. But we don't have that bigger picture. All right, Spirit, message for me and my audience here about what else do you want us to know about Trump and these Epstein files as they come out? The Empress. I think this is, don't lose the eye on the prize. And the eye on the prize are the survivors. This is not about Trump. This is not about the men who we want to punish. It's about the survivors of this. They've been betrayed by the government, by people in power. It's time to hear their story. It's not saying we don't hold those men accountable, but you've got to hear their story if we're going to stop this. And the stories are going to keep coming. It's not just going to be these first women coming out. There's going to be more. And as their stories are heard, there's more and more turmoil that's going to happen with this. Because there's a lot we don't know. But we also need to protect them. Because some people aren't going to like their heroes being outed as pedophiles. This is also a card of privacy. Hear their story, afford them their privacy. A lot of them, it took a lot of courage to come out, because you look at the players here. These are, again, wealthy, powerful, politically connected men. This is dangerous, dangerous stuff that they're playing with. And we've seen Jeffrey Epstein allegedly commit suicide. Virginia Giuffre allegedly commit suicide. Miss Giuffre probably had help. Ivana Trump probably had help. Jeffrey Epstein definitely had help, whether he's unalived or not. Maybe one day we'll find out. But it's a lot of courage that it took to get to this point. So honor them. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.